Thank you for joining Wars of the Rosies as we continue with tarot symbolism, the 9th numbered card, Le Hermit, Lermit. An article taken from the All-Seeing Eye, Volume 5, Number 11, August 1931. The Pythagoreans discovered that the universe consisted of 9 parts, of which the first was the heaven or sphere of the fixed stars, after which followed the 7 divisions or spheres of the planets, and lastly the earth or 9th sphere. In order to create the perfect number or decad, 10, they created a second earth, which they called an antichthon. This new or second earth may be regarded in the same light as the 10th Sephiroth of the Kabbalistic tree, or as an epitome of the whole world. By some systems, the epitome would be man, whom the Pythagoreans would thus define as moving in the orbit of the earth, but as a world separate from the earth. First deity, or the heavens, as he was called, who contained all things within himself as the superior man, was the 10th sphere. The little world, man, created in the image of his Father Heaven, was also an epitome or compendium of universal principles bound into one body. Thus it may be said that not only is man in the world, but that the world is also in man. The 9th card will correspond with the 9th Sephiroth, or the matrix from which the man is born. Hence the association of the number 9 with the period of gestation. The earth is the common mother of bodies, even as wisdom is the common mother of the wise. For all natures are descended from similars, and that which is similar produces that which is similar. Hence, wisdom produces the wise, for wisdom is an intellectual wholeness. It is to the part what the mother is to the body, namely the substance of which it is composed, from which it is temporarily differentiated, and by which it exists. All natures are the individualization of universal quality. Hence a wise man is not wisdom, for wisdom is diffused among all wise men. But a wise man is an extension of wisdom into the sphere of sense perception, or a wise man may be termed a fragment of wisdom, more correctly, a fragment of substance from which the flame of wisdom is reflected. Virtues in general, therefore, as qualities, are the origins of virtues in practical, as all peculiars are suspended from generals according to both the Pythagorean and Platonic systems. In viewing the 9th card of the tarot, we behold an aged man enveloped in a cape and cowl. In one hand he carries a shepherd's crook, and in the other a lantern partly covered by the folds of his cloak. At the feet of the hermit is a coiled serpent, and the sky behind is of a midnight hue. We instantly associate the hermit with the thought of a wise man. He is aged, which gives him veneration, and with benign countenance, and there is the air of experience about him, intimating a fullness of life and thought. The gray cape is of the color of mind, for mind occupies the middle distance between the light of spirit and the darkness of matter, and is therefore of a twilight hue. This gray cape also reminds us of the planet Saturn, for Saturn is the highest of the 7 spheres, and the guardian of the gate which leads from his circle to that of the stars. The staff which the aged man carries is the shepherd's rod of Hermes, and is the proper symbol of man's 3rd leg, as described in the riddle of the Sphinx. In this riddle we are asked what creature it is that first walked on 4 legs, then on 2, and lastly on 3. Here is a true problem in Pythagorean mathematics, for the 4 legs not only signify the period of infancy in which man crawls, but also the period of materiality when he depends upon the 4 elements for his support. In maturity, he walks upon 2 legs, which arcanely signifies that he is a servant of the principle of the duad, namely that he thinks through comparison and depends upon opportunities for estimation. In advancing years, he leans upon his staff. Therefore it is said that he walks upon 3 legs, the 3 being the proper symbol of spirit, even as the 2 is the symbol of the mind and the 4 of the body. It is also important to note that when 4, signifying the body, is added to 2, signifying the man, and these also to 3, signifying the spirit, the result is 9, the whole number of man. When this man who has grown upward from body through mind to spirit becomes a perfect 9, he then becomes a new creature, no longer simply a sum of parts, but a unit in its own right. This new unit is the Antichthon, the second or new earth, for it is written that the old heaven and the old earth shall pass away, and there will come a new heaven and a new earth. Heaven always signifies spirit and earth body. We discover that in the end all things shall be made new. In the Apocalypse it is written that in this new world there shall be neither sun nor moon, but the Lamb of God shall be the light thereof. The sun and moon signify positive and negative, or duality, but the Lamb, which is the first sign of the zodiac, is unity, the light of the Logos. In his description of the tarot cards, Eliphas Levi speaks of this lamp as the ever-burning lamp of the wise man. The lamp is reason which, when it fails to illuminate his surroundings, leaves the individual immersed in the impenetrable glow of irrationality. The wise man not only reveals his light, but also conceals it. The great truths of nature cannot be promiscuously communicated to man when they lead only to abuses and excesses. Hence the lamp is covered, as are all the mysteries of life. The serpent testifies to the reborn man and declares the hermit to be initiated into the deepest mysteries of the soul. To the symbol, as it is generally depicted, we have added a small shield containing within it a 5-pointed star, bounded by a square. This in itself is the symbol of the lantern, the star, the light of the soul, the square, the body. Here also are the 5 senses manifesting through the 4 elements and all the numerous combinations of occultic matters which reveal together the mystery of the number 9. 9 is further the number of Prometheus and the scapegoat of Israel, and of the just man whose death accompanies the salvation of his people. 9 is the sacrifice, for it is body, and body must ever die if soul is to be liberated. Plotinus, in his essay on the descent of the soul, summarizes Plato's doctrine of man's wandering through the 9 spheres of space, and how in the 9th sphere he becomes man, and in the 10th sphere soul. The heavy garments which the hermit wears have been bestowed upon him by the stars, which have enveloped him in the mantle of body. This truth is always set forth in the Mithric initiation ceremonies, where the candidate is given a robe covered with stars and planets. In the Phrygian rites, also the neophytes were given cloaks with the zodiac embroidered upon them. Although the average person cannot realize it, his body is the starry vestment referred to in the ancient mysteries, for as the deity is robed in his suns and planets, so man is enveloped in those bodily garments which are bestowed by the crystallization of the celestial influences. The hermit, fed by the serpent of wisdom, is seeking the path which leads back again to his father's house and the pristine splendor of his new 10th and spiritual body. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. And if you can, please consider donating to Wars of the Rosies. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.